Ooh. Yo.
Yo. So
We went to Wondercon this weekend.
We did.
Yeah.
We went to Wondercon. Yeah, it's our first convention back aside from Comic-Con over the summer.
Yeah. I'm like really tired.
Yeah.
I am not used to being on my feet for that many hours every day.
Yeah.
Walking around a convention.
Yeah.
It was like startling how like it's funny because like I always have we've been doing cons for years and I just always think of them in one way and coming back I was like, what happened?
Well, so Comic-Con is a little different because we usually break it up. Like we've got like press rooms and stuff that we go to, or like lounges or whatever, or spending time like at a bar with friends or something. WonderCon is purely about like walking around and getting photos and
it's the booth, it's the cosplay. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like if you went to WonderCon, there were panels, there were like screenings and stuff like that. But we needed to be with the people.
We did.
Okay?
We did, yeah.
We needed to be on the floor, grassroots cosplay action.
For years, it was like, we'd do the conventions in Long Beach, we'd do Anime Expo, we'd do, WonderCon and Comic-Con and all LA Comic-Con and all the other ones, generally locally. Phoenix Comic-Con. And so we, like you said, we'd spend a lot more time on our feet. We'd sort of be more used to it, and I think we'd sort of like prepare for it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, we'd take walks.
yeah. Well, there was the Pokemon Go era.
That's true.
Where we were walking every weekend.
That's true.
And so that was like I was ready to go, but man, not anymore. But it was really interesting though, getting back to a con. Really after COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that we did Comic-Con last year, but like you said, that's kind of a different scenario.
And even at Comic-Con, like we were still a little like, should we be masked? I think I need a mask around all these people.
Yeah, I think this was the first one that I didn't really see anybody wearing a mask that wasn't cosplaying.
I saw a few people, but like it was specifically noticeable because there were so few.
Yeah. So I would say that I do think that one of my favorite things about going to these conventions is just seeing like what's trending when it comes to like cosplay wise.
Yeah.
Because I think like you get a really good sense of like what like fans are watching, what they're into, but also like you kind of have to be careful too, because sometimes people I think trend a certain direction too, because it's like easier, Like for instance, like I think the cosplay we saw most of was Jujutsu Kaisen.
There was a lot of that.
But one of the characters that we saw the most of was Megumi's dad. From the season 2, first few episodes as the primary villain, and I feel like first he was awesome.
He was really
dope.
Awesome. But his costume is so easy.
So simple.
Yeah. So it's like kind of like slightly larger pants.
Yeah.
And like a black t-shirt, white pants, right?
And that's pretty much it.
And so the prop is like people either had like the chains or they had the purple
that weird purple creature.
Wormy creature.
Yeah.
But not everyone even had the wormy creature. Some just had the chains, and it's like, oh look, Megumi's dad.
Yeah. But it was really cool to see that, and I was.
Well, it's funny because you were joking about how like one of the easiest costumes that you were surprised we didn't notice people doing would have been from Solo Leveling, which practically would have been like a hoodie and a knife,
like a tracksuit kind of and a t-shirt. Yeah.
But you'd need a group. You'd need a group that was in like regular like almost like D&D type armor of sorts.
I mean, I think it was 7.5 just set everybody off. You know?
That's
like
true.
If 7.5 hadn't happened, they would everyone would have been solo leveling.
Totally.
There. No, I think solo leveling is like could be the coolest cosplay because it's like a track suit, a t-shirt, and like a cool knife, and you just have to do this, and that's it.
Yeah.
You're done.
I mean, it's so low key though, and and cosplayers, it's like you want people to notice you, you want them to take your picture. So like I said, you'd need like a goblin coming around with you so that you could like.
You need one of those knives that like. I mean, you obviously can't bring a real knife into the con. You'd have to buy like a rubber one.
Yeah.
But like, have you ever been to like a weird like fair
like
or like a
fair.
weird or like a exactly. The Renaissance Fair is perfect. A Renaissance Fair or like a weird mall in like Florida where they have a knife store and they always have that one knife that like looks like that knife from Soul Leveling where it's like ludicrous. Yeah. It's like the Dragon Slayer knight sword knife. And you're just like no one would like what there's no use for this knife other than to like display it. And that's what you need. That
is absolutely what you need.
But you can't bring that in, so you gotta find a rubber version.
There's a lot of One Piece. We saw
a lot of One Piece. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean that show is just like going strong, especially after Gear 5 Luffy. Yeah, there's just a lot of. I mean, I saw a lot of Gear 5 Luffy merch like everywhere.
I think also the success of the show on Netflix like really helped because I've never seen this many buggies.
Yeah, you're right. There were a lot of buggies. Yeah. No, you're right. There was sort of a mix between both of them. But yeah, no, I mean, One Piece is strong. I mean, it's funny. I was surprised how little Dragon Ball there was.
Yeah, you'd think there would be more just sort of Toriyama stuff in general. Yeah. But yeah, there really wasn't, which was pretty surprising. But then again, it's kind of sad.
Like and I think that's also I was really surprised there wasn't more. Attack on Titan. Yeah. Especially like Eren, with like long hair and the those crazy marks.
It's true, but if you can't do the Eren Yeager Final Titan, then what are you even doing?
Well, but I also think, in a less real world type way, or in some ways real world, but like I think Attack on Titan finale was so sad that I think also like just people wanted to be done with it. That's like they didn't want to like dress up. It was just like we're good.
Well, I remember years ago there would just be like so many of the squads on their capes and like and you'd see a few Titans and everything. But there were so many years of that. It took Attack on Titan so long to finish because of all of the long breaks in between. Yeah. That I think like at this point like people like you don't want to dress as any of the sort of more normal characters anymore because they're tough and dressing as Eren is just so sad that
and they all had kind of like weird outfits by the end, right? Like I don't think they had like I feel like Mikasa was like basically in like a suit with suspenders.
At the very end they were all but they were also in their black like
there's like weird spandex-y. Because they definitely got far away from the sort of the green cape,
the very iconic look. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, it was a good year. I mean, we have a bunch of cosplay photos on our website.
It was very rainy. I think that also
hurt the con.
Well, I think it played into the amount of cosplay and the certain types of cosplay because it was cold and rainy. Yeah. Like, despite the fact that it's like spring and Los Angeles area.
What is even the point of being in LA if we get weather like this?
Like, think about past years, like the amount of like great photos and stuff that we got in those outside areas. And this year it's like people like in the few little breaks from a rain, people were like running out there, but it wasn't even like sunny enough to get great photos. Yeah.
Which is unfortunate because that has always been, I think, one of the great things about that Anaheim Convention Center is they have that big outside area that with the fountain, and it just like is great. It's a great place for photos. It's a great place. They have food trucks there. It's like awesome. It's a really.
I do have to say one of my favorite things about Wondercon is they do have really great. They do a really good job of getting really good artists. To come and, like,
for sure.
And so a lot of the artwork that we have hanging around our own apartment and stuff like is stuff that we've picked up at WonderCon. They get a really good group of people that for their sculptures and their posters and their paintings and stuff and there's even like a lot of like clothing that was more like individualized kind of clothing stuff that we saw that was really cool. So they do a really good job of having things that aren't just like generic booths.
I agree. Yeah, there was the booths I thought were really strong this year. But yeah, no, I mean it was a good year. Yeah. It was really fun and
like I'm looking forward to more of the cons we go to this year. Hopefully we'll get to go to some more this year.
Yeah, that's the hope. It's nice getting back and it's nice being with the fans and it's nice seeing just like you know, just kind of like where the culture is going, you know.
Yeah.
I'm always interested to kind of see, like, especially with cosplay culture, like if you're going to spend your time, you know, and money putting together an outfit, you probably really like the thing.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I think there's a few professional cosplayers that they do it as more of a challenge per se, than like necessarily they love it. But I would say like 98% of the people that cosplay a thing, they cosplay something they love.
That's true.
So I always think it's like very interesting to see sort of what the current big thing is.
Yeah, like what really is trending, like in a way that people want to dress as it.
Yeah, and you always have like the staples. Like there's always like Star Wars.
There's always
like,
Star Wars. Marvel and DC are always pretty prominent. Yeah,
those are always the big ones. And then
I think there was like probably a little more X-Men, maybe like certain X-Men characters.
So.
I guess there's always a lot of X-Men.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think like anything that's like a really sort of watershed like thing, because you know they were so big. It was really nice every decade.
Yeah, it was nice to see some Persona cosplay, both Persona 3 and 5.
Yeah, a little bit of that. A little bit.
Not a lot, but it's like one of those things that like things that we love.
Yeah.
It's always nice, like, oh my god.
I would actually say there was a lot less video game cosplay than I'm used to seeing.
Yeah,
I felt like almost all the cosplay was either comic book or anime.
Yeah, I think like there was some Resident Evil.
A little bit, but I've seen like, there's been years where there's been more.
Right. But my point is like, but I can't even think of other video games aside from Persona and Resident Evil.
A little bit of Resident Evil, a little bit of Mario, a little bit of Zelda,
of course.
But it was like a little bit.
Yeah.
Like there have been years when like it was like a Mario fest.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe it's just the years, you know, the off years when there's not like a big. But didn't a bigger Mario game just come out?
Maybe.
I feel like it did. I don't know. I kind of.
And the Mario movie did well last year.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Who knows?
Anyway, I think it was cool. So I think
it was really nice getting back to it. It was you know, a good convention. There have definitely been bigger panels at the convention in past years.
Yeah.
But you know it. Again, I feel like WonderCon always feels a little bit more about the fans.
I think so too.
Like, because Comic-Con is where people go for the like big panels and stuff, and WonderCon, you know, is more about like the fans, the fandom, the like people getting together and show their cosplay and stuff. So
in a great artist alley too.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, our website has pictures, and we're gonna have
geekworldradio.com.
We're gonna have we're also gonna have a video of the cosplay up soon.
Yeah.
But not already.
Not already.
Unless you're watching this video the day after it came out, in which case maybe. Possible. You know, it's very possible. All right, let's get out of here.